Have you ever paused to wonder what would happen if every decision you made was deliberate, every action rooted in true intention? Most people float through life on autopilot, chasing routines and reacting to circumstances instead of crafting their own destiny. But what if there's a powerful, practical way to break free from this cycle and truly live each day with purpose, passion, and clarity? This book is your invitation to unlock the secrets of intentional living, step by step, moment by moment, chapter by chapter. The path ahead may surprise you. Act intentionally, live fully, a daily blueprint for success, written and published by Intentional Prosperity. Chapter 1. Wake up with purpose. What if, before your alarm clock ever buzzes, you could already sense excitement stirring deep inside you, a genuine anticipation for the day ahead? Most mornings, however, don't unfold like this. Instead, we're jolted out of sleep by insistent beeping, dragging ourselves from bed only to plunge into routines that feel rushed, dull, or empty. In those bleak early hours, it's as if life has hijacked the steering wheel while we simply follow along, half awake, mentally scanning tomorrow's obligations before the sun even rises today. It is so easy to fall into this trap. You might hit snooze, hiding under the covers because the day feels predictable and lifeless. You might feel pressure mounting before your feet even touch the floor, already fearing you'll fall behind, make mistakes, or simply move through hours that seem to blend into one another. You catch yourself reaching for your phone, scrolling for news or notifications as a shield against the prospect of facing another ordinary day. The sense of purpose that once lit up your mornings has faded into routine. Before you know it, the clock has ticked on, your energy is scattered, and you're already struggling to focus on what matters most. But what if this daily cycle could be broken? Imagine if your mornings started not by accident, but by design. Imagine waking up with clear intention, even excitement, ready to greet whatever the day brings because it's shaped around what truly matters to you. The transformative solution to that dull, automatic morning routine is practicing the art of waking up with purpose. This is not about being a morning person by nature or filling your calendar with rigid rituals. Instead, it is about a subtle but powerful shift, choosing to greet each day as a new opportunity and beginning it as if your life is worth living fully, right from those first waking minutes. At the heart of waking up with purpose lies one clear idea. You are not just a passenger in your own life. Each morning, you possess the power to set your own tone, create meaning, and invest intention into your actions, no matter what the day holds. When you start your day consciously, rather than unconsciously, your energy changes. Instead of being late to your own life or swept along by the demands of the world, you become unstoppable, bringing enthusiasm and clarity to each moment. Research shows that mornings built on purpose improve mood, boost productivity, and even strengthen willpower throughout the day. This commitment to intentional beginnings doesn't require changing everything at once. It starts by making a conscious choice before you even leave bed. As you practice this mindset, you'll experience your mornings transforming from rushed or resigned to centered and empowered. The quiet strength you build in those first moments will ripple outward, turning your entire day into a canvas for growth, creativity, and fulfillment. Even if challenges arise, tough deadlines, unpredictable obstacles, moments of doubt, you'll return again and again to the anchor you created by waking up intentionally. In this first step toward a fuller life, the power to change belongs and will always belong to you. Waking up with purpose begins the moment your eyes open. The first truly effective step is to decide before rising how you wish to feel and live that day. Imagine yourself lying in bed. Instead of immediately jumping up or reaching for your phone, you take a deep breath, feeling the warmth of your sheets and the quiet around you. In that peaceful space, ask yourself a simple, intentional question: what matters most to me today? This single question is a powerful declaration that today will not just happen to you. You will shape it right from the start. If gratitude is what you seek, identify one thing to appreciate before stepping out of bed. If energy is your goal, visualize one bright moment to look forward to. Grant yourself 2 controlled, mindful moments to set this purpose. No special ritual required, just attention to what matters most. Next, create a small morning trigger. that gently reminds you of your intention. Maybe it's placing a handwritten note beside your alarm that reads, "Start with purpose," or using a song that lifts your spirit instead of the default ringtone. These nudges can shift your mindset before bad habits take over. When you do stand up and begin your routine, carry this intention with you as you brush your teeth or make breakfast. Keep your focus on how you want to show up in the world today. Perhaps you imagine someone facing a busy day at work who normally rushes through everything, feeling perpetually behind. With just a few conscious breaths upon waking, reminding themselves they want to be present and calm, the whole experience is changed. Instead of snapping at a slight or gobbling coffee nervously, they notice their breathing in the morning traffic, forgiving themselves for an error, savoring a kind word from a colleague, or even the warmth of sunlight through the window. In practical terms, motivation and clarity replace fogginess and dread. As this new pattern takes shape, more benefits become clear. A deliberate morning intention can anchor the mind against worries that often derail our focus. You'll discover greater resolve and enjoyment in everyday tasks, noticing more of what's good and choosing how to respond instead of simply reacting. This practice brings a sense of achievement by midday, reinforcing positive habits and helping you recover quickly whenever stress or uncertainty strikes. Even the smallest intentional tweaks to your morning routine send a powerful signal. You are in control of your life's direction. Day by day, the energy and self-respect you invest right after waking will multiply, turning each morning into a reliable foundation for success and happiness. To truly experience the power of waking up with purpose, put today's lesson into practice. Before bed tonight, set one intention for tomorrow morning. Just a single word or phrase that means something personal to you, like grateful, calm, or energized. When you open your eyes, focus on this intention for one slow inhale and one exhale, and notice what changes in your mood or motivation. Progress will be gradual. Some days will feel easier, others may require more patience and repetition, but each intentional morning will build your self-awareness and determination for whatever lies ahead. The first step in transformation is always showing up for yourself, and this simple morning ritual will help you do just that. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into uncovering what truly drives you at your core, exploring how clarifying your deepest values can serve as a compass for every goal and action. Begin each morning with purpose, and as you prepare for your journey through these pages, remember that your questions, discoveries, and reflections fuel the conversation. If you're enjoying this journey with us so far, remember to support our growth. Subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, give the video a like, and share your insights or suggestions in the comments to shape our future together. Chapter 2. Clarify your core values. Imagine walking through a thick fog, confident that you're moving, yet unsure if you're heading in the right direction. Each step takes effort, but without a clear sense of where you're truly going, progress can feel empty or pointless. Many people move through life just like this. They put in time at their jobs, nurture their relationships, and chase goals they hope will bring happiness. But deep down, there's a lingering question they can't quite answer. Why am I doing all this? The answer is often obscured by the noise of daily obligations and what others expect from us. Without an inner compass, it's frighteningly easy to drift, living by someone else's standards or simply following the crowd. It can feel like being lost, even when you're doing everything you were told you're supposed to do. The frustration grows when achievements that should make you proud leave you strangely hollow. Maybe you've set goals before. Wake up earlier, work harder, save more money, but lost interest, or abandoned them along the way. Perhaps you've said yes to things you barely cared about, only to feel resentful when you're stretched too thin. The truth is, so many of us have never paused to honestly reflect on what is most important to us, our core values, because the busyness of life and the sheer pressure to keep up drowns out our inner voice. Over time, the sense of fulfillment dims, decisions become harder, and even the brightest accomplishments lose their meaning. Yet, there is a simple and reliable way to cut through this confusion. You can clarify your core values and let them guide your choices. Core values are the essential beliefs and standards that shape who you are and point the way toward a meaningful life. They are deeper than preferences or passing interests. Instead, they are your unique foundation, principles that, when honored, bring your actions into alignment with your truest self. Instead of letting life push you forward blindly, defining your values places you confidently back in control, so your direction is not random but chosen. Embracing this approach allows you to set powerful boundaries, make choices that feel authentic, and pursue achievements that actually resonate with your deepest desires. The heart of this transformative shift lies in creating clarity. When you're clear about what you stand for, each decision, big or small, becomes so much easier. You'll be able to notice when an opportunity matches your true priorities and to say no without guilt or regret when it doesn't. Values act as your internal compass, recalibrating you whenever you start to wander off course or feel stuck. If you value honesty, you begin to notice how trustworthy behavior brings you peace, while compromise leaves hidden discomfort. If growth is a deep value, seeking new challenges feels energizing rather than overwhelming. Adopting this perspective empowers you to stop measuring your worth by outside markers and to instead seek fulfillment on your own terms. The change might start quietly, with a single act of courage or self-respect, but its impact will gradually illuminate every area of your life, drawing you closer to the person you want to become. Discovering and living by your core values begins with purposeful reflection. To start, set aside a few quiet minutes for yourself, away from the distractions of screens and daily demands. Gently close your eyes or stare out a window and ask, what truly matters most to me? Think beyond fleeting wants or superficial rewards. Consider moments when you felt deeply at peace, proud, or energized, even in small, everyday situations. Those experiences often reveal the underlying values that most resonate with your soul. Pick up a notebook or open a blank document and write down anything that comes to mind, words, feelings, or events, and notice any patterns that begin to emerge. Don't worry if what's meaningful for others doesn't apply to you. This process is about honesty with yourself, not meeting other people's expectations. Once these initial thoughts surface, try grouping them into 3 to 5 themes. For example, perhaps your notes highlight honesty, growth, kindness, family, creativity, or service. From here, make each value as clear and personal as possible. Maybe by adding a descriptive sentence, like, I value honesty because I feel strongest when I'm genuine with myself and others. To lock these values into your awareness, imagine actual moments when you honored them. Picture someone tempted to bend the truth in a meeting who instead spoke openly about their doubts and later felt a sense of relief and trust growing with their team. Consider a parent who, rather than prioritizing overtime for extra pay, chose to spend the evening playing with their child, realizing that connection mattered more. These small stories give life to the abstract, making your values truly yours. Bringing your values out of hiding is only the first step. The next is to actively apply them to real-world decisions. When facing a fork in the road, pause and ask, does this choice support what really matters to me? You'll notice that some options, like committing to a project you care about or standing up for a friend, feel aligned and energizing, while others might drain you or fill you with regret. The practice becomes a compass. Each time you check directions, decisions gain clarity and life feels, piece by piece, more intentional and satisfying. Acting in alignment with your values may feel odd at first, especially if you have lived long for other people. Still, day by day, you'll recognize those values emerging not just as abstract ideals, but as real sources of stability and confidence. Begin now with a simple exercise. Choose one of your top values and plan a small but meaningful way to honor it today. Let that value shape a single choice or action, no matter how humble. Maybe you call a loved one to express appreciation, stick to honesty in a challenging conversation, or finish a creative task that matters to you. Treat each value-driven action as a victory, setting a new pattern for future decisions. The more you practice, the more effortless it becomes, until living your values is second nature, and every achievement feels deeply rewarding. Your values are seeds of greatness, and clarity is their sunlight. Moving forward, we'll build on this foundation by designing your ideal day, making sure it reflects the priorities you have now identified. If you find value in this journey, don't forget to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, give the video a like, and add your stories, thoughts, or chapter suggestions in the comments. The next step is waiting. Let your values lead you there. Chapter 3. Design your ideal day. What if, right now, you had the power to shape tomorrow exactly as you wished? Can you imagine opening your eyes each morning, feeling the spark of anticipation, because your day is woven from actions and experiences that fill you with energy and meaning? While it might sound like a fantasy, the journey to a more fulfilling life begins by daring to design your ideal day. Most people shuffle through their routines focused on what must get done, rarely stopping to wonder what days crafted with purpose would look or feel like. Yet, even if life's demands can't be erased or every hour controlled, most of us yearn for more balance, more joy, and a greater sense of, this is where I'm meant to be. Still, it is so common to struggle here. If you've ever found your day slipping away in small, unplanned activities, wasted minutes scrolling through social media, obligations that sap your energy, or urgent chores that crowd out rest or fun, you are not alone. Countless people look back each week feeling stifled by monotony, regretting how many moments passed by unnoticed or unappreciated. When you spend every day serving only the loudest demands, it feels impossible to build momentum or invest in dreams that matter deeply to you. Soon, even small things you once enjoyed, calm mornings or creative pursuits, get replaced by a sense of always catching up, like life has written your schedule without your input. The gap between how you live and how you long to live quietly grows, making it even harder to believe change is possible. Here's where the magic happens. The transformative solution isn't to wait until your schedule is finally perfect or responsibilities disappear. Instead, it's about intentionally taking charge by designing your own ideal day, one that gently weaves your core values, passions, and needs into the rhythm of your routine, no matter what else fills your calendar. It starts as an act of imagination, but very quickly becomes a blueprint guiding everyday choices. You do not have to mimic anyone else's morning miracle or productivity system. The real power is in creating a vision that is honest to you, varied enough for real life, and flexible enough to welcome both unexpected joys and unavoidable interruptions. When you design your ideal day, you unlock a keener awareness of what truly nourishes you, physically, mentally, and emotionally. This vivid clarity acts as a gentle but persistent compass, showing which activities to prioritize, where to set boundaries, and how to say yes to experiences that stretch and delight you without losing sight of daily necessities. Even if you start small, claiming a few minutes for morning reflection or designating an evening free from screens, the improvements begin to ripple out, multiplying your sense of agency and joy. In building this living, breathing blueprint, you prove that you hold real power over your daily experience. As you learn to align your days with what matters, each morning becomes an opportunity to evolve, and every evening brings deeper satisfaction, knowing you moved closer to your truest self. Designing your ideal day unfolds through a series of thoughtful steps that anyone can implement, regardless of their current schedule. Begin with honest self-reflection, picturing what your best day might look like if you woke up energized and finished the evening with a sense of genuine accomplishment. Gently list the activities, feelings, and environments that bring you peace, focus, fun, or connection, elements you would love to include, both big and small. Then, compare these wishes to your typical routine. Notice where the gaps lie. Maybe you crave more time for creativity, greater presence with your loved ones, or pockets of calm that let you breathe and reset. The goal isn't to copy an influencer's formula, but to anchor your blueprint in what shapes your deepest fulfillment. Once you identify what matters, turn this vision into small, realistic adjustments rather than overhauls. Take, for example, someone who wants to bring more creativity into their workday. This person realizes they are most inspired in the early afternoon, so they decide to reserve 15 minutes each day after lunch for brainstorming or sketching ideas in a notebook, no matter how busy the morning gets. Little by little, not only do creative projects improve, but even mundane tasks become more satisfying as they reconnect with what energizes them. Another real scenario features a parent who wishes for greater peace and presence. By protecting the first half hour after returning home from work as no screen, all family time, she finds the tension from her day melting away more quickly and notices her relationships growing stronger. These shifts may seem minor, yet over time, such moments create new pillars of joy and confidence. The benefits of designing your ideal day extend far beyond what happens on your calendar. Each deliberate addition and gentle boundary helps you reclaim your voice amid life's noise. As you honor your blueprint, you gain more confidence to say no to distractions or pressures that don't align, freeing up more energy for what truly matters. You will spot opportunities to creatively adapt, even when faced with unexpected obligations or sudden changes, because your core design is flexible. Feelings of stress or restlessness begin to wane as more moments actually feel like yours, and fulfillment emerges from even small acts of daily living. With time and practice, you notice a growing sense of motivation and enthusiasm as your schedule increasingly reflects your real priorities. To ignite this transformation, start today by visualizing your ideal day as vividly as possible. Write or sketch a brief timeline from morning to night, weaving in moments that reflect your values, needs, and ambitions. Select just one small element and introduce it into your routine, perhaps choosing a mindful breakfast, a lunchtime walk, or a quiet evening ritual. Let yourself enjoy any positive shift or sensation it inspires, knowing that the next improvement is always within reach. Designing your day is not about rigid control but persistent self-discovery. Each step makes tomorrow's blueprint even richer. As the blueprint of your day takes shape, you'll find that this foundation supports intentional daily goals, the focus of our next chapter. Prepare to unlock even more practical strategies for living on purpose, one clear intention at a time. If these steps have sparked clarity or inspiration, show your support by subscribing to the Intentional Prosperity channel, liking the video, or joining the conversation with ideas and feedback in the comments. Tomorrow begins with the choices you make today. The blueprint is yours to design. Chapter 4. Set intentional daily goals. What if every day began with a quiet sense of direction, each morning offering a new opportunity to make a purposeful impact? Envision waking not to an endless list of chores or vague ambitions, but to a clear focus that motivates and empowers you from sunrise to sunset. The truth is that while most people long for meaningful progress, their days are too easily hijacked by scattered to-dos and endless distractions. Intentional daily goals transform each morning from a blank page into a canvas of deliberate action, a simple but profound change that sets the entire tone for a more fulfilled life. The struggle many people face is the constant whirlwind of conflicting tasks and obligations. It's common to sit down with a vague idea of what needs to get done, only to find the day slipping away in a series of interruptions and urgent but unimportant tasks. Your mind bounces between unfinished emails, unplanned errands, and the nagging sense that something essential is being overlooked. Perhaps you've started your week determined to make real change or finally finish that meaningful project. Yet by evening, the bigger dreams have been buried under minor, reactive duties. This draining cycle breeds a sense of frustration and disappointment, as though genuine accomplishment remains forever out of reach. Life begins to feel like a loop, where productivity is measured by busyness rather than by satisfaction or meaningful progress. Now imagine escaping this cycle by embracing a solution both accessible and empowering. Setting intentional daily goals that link your core values and life vision to clear, actionable steps. The transformative power of intentional goal setting lies not in simply doing more, but in becoming fully present and purposeful about what you choose to do. Rather than letting the demands of the day dictate your actions, you become the designer of your time, awakening with clarity and resolve. Intentional goals are like tiny compasses that point you toward your true north, no matter how crowded or unpredictable your days might be. These goals are flexible. They grow and adapt with your evolving life, but their root stays the same. Every action must reflect what deeply matters to you, even in small ways. At the core of this approach is a fresh way of engaging with each moment. When you set your intentions clearly at the start of the day, the mind sharpens, distractions lose their grip, and motivation flourishes. Soon, progress feels measurable and satisfying because it is anchored in authenticity, and every win, no matter how small, reinforces your sense of agency. The process isn't about checking off endless boxes, but about investing your energy where it counts most, on tasks, habits, and relationships that nourish your growth. With this mindset, even challenges become opportunities, and setbacks become sources of learning rather than defeat. Each day you give yourself the gift of an intentional focus, you step forward with a new kind of confidence, the knowledge that your time, though limited, can be beautiful, valuable, and entirely yours. You can transform your daily experience by setting just a few intentional goals. Even small, focused aims can completely change your sense of purpose and momentum. To start, carve out a few moments each morning or even the night before to pause and reflect on what matters most for the next 24 hours. Close your eyes and ask yourself what will make today meaningful, aligned, and productive. Instead of scrawling a massive to-do list, pick out 2 or 3 priorities that connect to your bigger vision and values. Be specific. Reach out to an old friend to reconnect, devote 30 minutes to a creative skill, or give my full attention at dinner with my family. Write these priorities in a planner or as a simple note on your phone, and keep them visible as gentle reminders of your chosen focus throughout the day. When you feel the rush of overwhelm or temptation to lose track, revisit these intentions, returning to them as anchors whenever you feel lost in busy work or distractions. Consider the story of a young professional named Mia, who frequently ended her workdays drained, with little sense of accomplishment. After committing to set intentional goals, she changed her approach. Each day, she wrote out one main work priority, one personal goal, and one action rooted in gratitude. Suddenly, her progress was clearer and her mood improved, even as her workload continued. Another example comes from a retiree named Greg, who used daily goals to structure his new freedom. By making a simple list in the mornings, he discovered a new excitement in routine, visiting the park, learning a new language, and reconnecting with hobbies. Each completed intention became a reason to celebrate, and his sense of fulfillment blossomed. Over time, you'll notice the impact of this small but powerful ritual. Setting intentional daily goals makes each task more meaningful, clarifies what can be let go, and allows you to approach even difficult days with a sense of progress. You'll start to see a rising sense of motivation as each completed intention reinforces your ability to direct your own life. This shift filters into other areas as well. Better focus, deeper relationships, and a noticeable decline in feelings of helplessness or stress in the face of unexpected changes. Purposeful living becomes a lived experience rather than just a hopeful phrase. To make this practice your own, try an exercise tonight or tomorrow morning. Set aside 5 minutes in a calm place. Identify one core value you wish to honor and connect it to a single concrete action for the day ahead. Reflect on how this simple goal feels. Does it excite you, challenge you, or offer the promise of connection? Begin with just 1 or 2 goals and let the feeling of accomplishment inspire you to continue and build as weeks go by. Growth isn't about perfection, but about momentum. Each day brings a new moment to reaffirm the life you wish to create. As you lock in these purposeful habits, look ahead with anticipation, because the next chapter explores the power of prioritizing what truly matters, sharpening your focus for greater satisfaction and success. For more guidance and inspiration on this journey, remember to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like the video, and share your thoughts or goal-setting tips in the comments to help us all learn and grow together. The days you dream of start with intentional steps. Take yours today. Chapter 5. Prioritize what truly matters. If you only had a handful of hours to spend in one day, how would you choose to fill them? Picture waking to a world where every minute is a treasure, each decision a meaningful brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Now ask yourself, would you devote your most valuable energy to what genuinely matters? Or would you chase every distraction and obligation barehanded? In reality, most days are far less clear and far more crowded than that idyllic vision. The truth is, learning how to prioritize what truly matters often feels like a constant tug of war. Your core needs and aspirations yanked away by must-dos, emergencies, and incoming requests that all seem urgent at first glance. For so many, the struggle begins before the day even starts. You might feel your to-do list swelling, emails arriving faster than they can be answered, responsibilities pressing in from every direction. There are bills to pay, meetings that seem critical, errands shouting for attention, family needing your presence, friends hoping for connection, all stacked on top of your own hopes and health. In this blur of demand, it's easy to end up tending constantly to what screams loudest, not what matters most. Have you noticed how quickly the hours vanish when your focus is scattered by the urgent but unimportant? You may reach the evening weary with little sense of true progress, wondering how a day so busy could feel so empty. Bit by bit, the most precious parts of yourself, your dreams, values, creativity, and relationships are sacrificed to whatever claims priority in the moment. The cycle repeats, growing more entrenched as time passes, sapping joy and diluting your accomplishments. But crystal clarity and deeper fulfillment are always within reach, even in the busiest lives. The transformative solution is learning to look beyond the clamor, to gently and honestly discern what genuinely deserves your best time and attention. Prioritization is not about getting everything done. It's about choosing what gets your heart, your mind, and your energy. So your life becomes a vivid reflection of your priorities, rather than an endless scramble to satisfy everyone and everything. This shift in thinking opens a world of possibility. By intentionally asking which tasks align with your core values and long-term vision, and which ones only crowd out your greatest goals, you gain back incredible agency. Suddenly, it becomes far less important what's urgent for others and more important to listen to what's essential for you. The core idea is deceptively simple. Not every demand is worth equal effort, not every voice deserves your undivided attention, and not every mountain is worth the climb. When you give yourself permission to pause and sift through your choices, arranging them in a way that honors your truest priorities, something wonderful happens. Your actions naturally align with your intentions, leaving you lighter, more focused, and more deeply satisfied. You begin to recognize that saying yes is precious, and saying no is sometimes the truest act of self-respect. The more you practice this perspective, the more you shape each day around what matters, building a life overflowing with meaning, presence, confidence, and genuine joy. The journey toward prioritizing what truly matters starts with a few intentional steps that you can incorporate even amidst the busiest of routines. To move forward, begin your day with a quick moment of reflection before jumping into activity. Ask yourself, which 3 things, if completed today, would make me feel most accomplished and fulfilled? It's tempting to jot down every possible responsibility, but keep your focus on what's deeply connected to your values, well-being, and core goals. Write these top priorities somewhere visible, a note on your desk or a reminder on your phone, so they remain at the forefront of your attention as the day unfolds. This simple act not only clarifies your direction, it serves as an anchor, helping you resist the constant pull of less important or merely urgent tasks as they arise. As you move through the day, practice pausing whenever a new request, message, or obligation clamors for your attention. Take a breath and compare it against your list. Does investing time here draw you closer to the priorities you set, or does it pull you away? For example, imagine Anna, a dedicated employee and parent, overwhelmed every evening with a never-ending list of errands and duties. When she started prioritizing just 3 meaningful goals, an hour of uninterrupted family time, a focused stretch on a passion project, and a walk after dinner, other urgent but less important demands began to fall away. She learned to delegate chores when possible, politely decline extra commitments, and let go of activities that drained her spirit. After a few weeks, Anna noticed her sense of accomplishment rising, her stress levels dropping, and an authentic joy replacing that old feeling of being stretched thin. The benefits are profound. Prioritizing brings a sense of proactive control rather than reactive anxiety. you discover the kind of vibrant energy that comes only from investing in what uplifts and sustains you. Relationships deepen, creativity flourishes, and tasks that once seemed like burdens often transform into fulfilling rituals. Healthy boundaries, shaped by your commitment to what truly matters, take the sting out of saying no to what is merely urgent or expected. Over time, you experience a rise in confidence as each day lived with intention strengthens your ability to honor your most heartfelt ambitions. Take the first active step now. This evening or tomorrow morning, select 3 priorities for your day based not on urgency but on alignment with your values and what makes you feel truly alive. Track your progress, celebrate small successes, and when distractions crop up, gently return your attention to what's most important. Remember that prioritizing well is a living skill. Some days it will come easily, while other days it may require courage and patience. Growth unfolds as you continuously revisit, refine, and recommit to giving your best to what matters most. As you strengthen your ability to prioritize, you prepare your mind for even greater focus and creativity, the very practices that unlock exceptional growth and fulfillment. In the next chapter, we will explore how cultivating focus and flow can help accelerate your journey toward lasting change. If these lessons inspire you, make sure to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like the video, and share your stories or suggestions in the comments below. Each insight adds to our community, and your next breakthrough may be the spark someone else needs today. Chapter 6: Cultivate Focus and Flow. Have you ever lost yourself so completely in a task that time seemed to dissolve, every distraction faded, and you operated at a level you didn't know you possessed? While these moments may feel rare or accidental, imagine if you could create them on purpose, tapping into deep focus and flow whenever you truly need it. The desire for undisturbed concentration and effortless progress is universal, yet for most people, focus remains frustratingly elusive. Each day you reset with the best intentions, only to find your attention shattered by constant interruptions, urgent notifications, or runaway thoughts that steal precious energy. Modern life is filled with endless opportunities to be distracted. Between the demands of your phone, flashes of social media, email alerts, and the background buzz of daily activity, even the simplest task can expand into a mountain. Many begin their days full of plans and leave their evenings wrestling with the feeling of having accomplished far less than hoped. You may recognize the endless cycle. Set aside some time for meaningful work or creative joy, only to check one message, then another, and suddenly an hour is gone without any satisfying progress. As distractions multiply, your brain grows tired, motivation weakens, and the chance for meaningful flow vanishes beneath a pile of half-started and half-finished projects. Over time, this scattered attention chips away at your sense of purpose, causing frustration and diminished self-trust as you wonder why you can't seem to hold your focus strong enough to reach what's truly important. What if you could turn things around by inviting focus and flow into your daily life, not by forcing discipline, but by understanding and designing the conditions for them to emerge naturally? The transformative solution lies in cultivating an environment and mindset that welcome deep, joyful concentration and making small, conscious changes that protect your mental space. Rather than battling distractions through willpower alone, it's about gently clearing a path and building rituals that signal to your brain, now, it's time to give this your undivided attention. When you intentionally prepare for focus, you create routines and cues that gradually train your mind to slip into a state of flow, a remarkable place where effort becomes effortless, insight flows freely, and hours pass with the soft rush of satisfaction. The foundation for this transformation is realizing that focus and flow aren't talents reserved for the lucky or the ultra-disciplined. They're accessible practices. Each person has a unique rhythm and a set of ideal conditions for hitting their stride, and your task is to discover and honor these cues. By noticing when and how you do your best work, creating spaces without distractions, and giving yourself full permission to immerse, you make it easier for flow to arise. The rewards are immediate and powerful. Even short periods of undistracted effort feel more rewarding than scattered hours of multitasking. You'll notice creative breakthroughs, increased productivity, and a new sense of control over your mind and day, opening doors to not only higher achievement, but also deep fulfillment and pride in your progress. To truly cultivate focus and flow in your daily life, begin by identifying the times you naturally feel most alert or inspired. Reserve these pockets for your most important work or creative pursuits, and give yourself permission to honor them as sacred appointments with yourself. For example, if you consistently feel clear-minded in the early morning, commit to protecting half an hour just for deep work, away from distractions. Start small, with manageable bursts, setting a timer for 20 or 30 minutes, and promising yourself no interruptions, not even for messages or quick tasks. The act of declaring this focused window builds trust with yourself and sends a signal to your brain that these moments matter. Transform your environment to gently support flow. Clear your physical workspace, remove visual clutter, and silence your phone or notifications, even if only for a little while. Sometimes using headphones with instrumental music, or even a cup of coffee by your side, helps mark these intervals as special. Consider the story of Lucas, a student whose study sessions were plagued by constant distractions. When he began designating a tidy corner of his room for schoolwork, placing books and tools at arm's reach with his phone in another room, he found that not only did he study more efficiently, but learning itself became enjoyable. Similarly, Priya, a writer, established her own ritual. Every afternoon, she brewed her favorite tea, wrote for 20 focused minutes with her door closed, and rewarded herself with a short walk outside. These routines, repeated with kindness, tuned their minds for swift entry into focus and set the stage for regular experiences of flow. Embrace small but meaningful rituals before starting, like stretching, breathing deeply, or reciting an intention out loud. This is my time for creative thinking, or I will give my best focus to this task. As you consistently invite these routines and boundaries into your life, notice which triggers help you slip most easily into productive absorption. Do not be discouraged by the inevitable distractions or setbacks. Understand that growth comes not from perfection, but from your willingness to return again and again to presence. Each time your thoughts wander or interruptions arise, use them as reminders. Gently bring yourself back, refocus, and restart. In time, you'll notice that your ability to concentrate strengthens. The zone of flow becomes easier to access, and your mind becomes a far friendlier and more reliable companion. The impact of nurturing focus and flow is transformative. Daily progress accelerates not only because you are achieving more, but because you are entering that fulfilling state where work feels like a revelation, not a burden. You find creative solutions more quickly, recover motivation after setbacks, and experience moments of genuine joy as effort and ease blend seamlessly. This habit will bleed over into other areas, making even routine tasks more enjoyable as you learn how to guard your attention for what matters. Your sense of autonomy and accomplishment naturally grows, building momentum for the next stage of your self-directed journey. To put these ideas into practice, select one creative or meaningful task for tomorrow. Carve out a protected block of time to work on it with total presence. No notifications, no unnecessary multitasking, just you and the task at hand. Observe how you feel before, during, and after. Start small, but cherish your success. The more you nurture this practice, the easier it becomes to drop into flow whenever you need it most. Up next, you'll discover how to align your daily habits with your grandest vision, so every small action builds the life you dream of. If you found this chapter useful, subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, give the video a like, and share what habits help you find focus and flow in the comments below. Every story and suggestion adds strength to our journey together, inching all of us closer to the extraordinary lives we deserve. Chapter 7. Align Habits with Vision. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to steadily move toward their dreams, while others, often with just as much passion, stay stuck, circling in place year after year? The secret is not hidden motivation or extraordinary willpower, but the unseen routines guiding each choice, hour after hour, day after day. Habits, for better or worse, quietly design the architecture of our lives long before big breakthroughs or bold decisions ever arrive. If you could lift the lid on your daily routines, would the patterns you find support and confirm the larger vision you have for yourself, or would they quietly sabotage it? Too often, our habits are shaped by inertia rather than purpose, and our biggest ambitions feel beyond reach, not because they're impossible, but because we haven't connected our daily actions to our true destination. For many, there is a persistent gap between who they want to become and what they do without thinking. You might clearly picture your ideal future, healthier, more present, more creative, more confident, but notice that your all too familiar habits pull you elsewhere. Perhaps you mean to prioritize self-care, but your automatic response to stress is scrolling late at night, leaving you waking up tired. Maybe you long for deeper relationships, yet allow busy schedules and minor distractions to erode meaningful conversation or quality time with those who matter most. Or you're inspired to learn and grow, but the habit of procrastination quietly whittles away your enthusiasm, leaving dreams to gather dust on the shelf of good intentions. The friction between vision and routine generates quiet frustration, making real progress feel like an endless climb up a slick and stubborn hill. What if there was a simple, encouraging way to bridge this gap? The transformative solution is learning to intentionally align your habits with the vision you cherish most. Rather than depending solely on bursts of inspiration, you create an environment and routine that support the identity and life you actually want. This alignment begins invisibly, with humble and repeatable actions, patiently replacing unhelpful habits with ones that mirror your core values and goals. The process is neither harsh nor overwhelming. It is about bringing gentle awareness to your routines, questioning whether they lift you toward your highest self, and then making small, strategic adjustments that accumulate over time. When you align your habits with your vision, everything changes. Even modest shifts bring momentum, because consistency compounds far more potently than isolated bursts of effort. Ordinary actions, how you begin your morning, how you respond to setbacks, what you do with 10 free minutes, become daily affirmations of your chosen direction. Healthy habits gradually replace old patterns, and slowly but surely, your life starts to reflect your true, deepest priorities. The benefits are powerful. You reclaim confidence, trust yourself to make purposeful choices, feel less strained by willpower, and enjoy a quiet pride as the gap between who you are and who you wish to become steadily narrows, one day at a time. To realign your habits with your vision, begin by taking an honest inventory of your daily actions. Set aside a quiet moment and write down a few typical routines or habits that shape your day, from how you wake up to how you wind down at night. Compare these patterns to your long-term vision. Ask yourself, which of these habits are silently supporting who I want to be, and which are pulling me further away? This process is not about guilt or self-criticism, but about gentle self-observation. When you spot a habit that drifts from your core values, trace its origin. Were you trying to soothe stress, avoid discomfort, or simply acting from autopilot? The act of noticing is already the seed of transformation. Next, pick a single area where a small shift could deliver big results. For example, say you dream of greater health, but have the habit of grabbing sugary snacks late at night. Rather than vowing to change everything at once, identify a modest adjustment. Plan to have healthy options prepared in advance, or replace 10 minutes of snacking with reading, stretching, or making herbal tea. Real-life change gathers power when you stack supportive habits onto ones that already exist. Imagine someone who wants to read more books but struggles to prioritize learning. They notice they scroll their phone each evening before bed. Swapping 10 minutes of screen time for a chapter of an interesting book over a month turns intention into progress. Or take the case of Marie, who dreams of expressing more gratitude and connection in her busy life. Her action was simple. Every morning, while waiting for coffee to brew, she'd send a brief, kind message to someone she cares about. This tiny daily act soon deepened her relationships and sparked more moments of joy throughout her day. Be patient as you repeat and refine these actions. At times, new habits may feel awkward or even disappointing at first, but as days and weeks pass, they become part of your identity. Celebrate every small victory. Keep a visible symbol of the outcome you're seeking. a note card with your vision statement, a photo that captures who you are becoming, or even a simple tally mark on a calendar each day you honor your new routine. Each action is proof that change is possible and progress is real. The benefits of aligning habits and vision become clear as you watch small efforts gather momentum. You'll begin to trust yourself, knowing each step, however tiny, nudges your life and mindset in the direction that feels right. You will discover that dedication does not mean exhausting yourself, but rather returning, again and again, to actions that nurture what matters. You'll find confidence in routine, resilience in challenge, and satisfaction even in life's messier moments, because you know you're investing in what truly counts. For today's practice, choose one habit that connects you to your vision, no matter how humble, and commit to repeating it for the next 7 days. Let the experience be an experiment in kindness rather than a test of perfection. Notice any changes in your mood, mindset, or results, and allow yourself to adapt as you learn. As you watch new habits begin to take root, get ready to clear even more space for growth as we explore how to eliminate mental clutter in the next chapter. If you're inspired by change and want to encourage this community, subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like the video, and share what habit you're building in the comments. Your story may be just what another reader needs to take the first step on their own journey. Chapter 8. Eliminate Mental Clutter. Can you remember a time when your mind felt clear, sharp, focused, and calm as a quiet lake at dawn? Now compare that rare stillness to the usual hum of modern life, where thoughts buzz endlessly, demands overlap, and mental to-do lists multiply until you feel overwhelmed. Most of us walk around not only physically exhausted, but also mentally burdened by a constant load of worries, second-guessing, regrets, and scattered plans. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack all day, packed not with books, but with every unresolved question, every half-finished task, every expectation you're trying to hold together at once. Eventually, this invisible weight crowds out creativity, patience, and even joy. If you've ever found yourself losing track of what matters, forgetting small details, feeling easily agitated, or staying up late ruminating over what you might have missed, you know the cost of mental clutter all too well. This is a struggle so many share, yet rarely talk about. You may have grand ambitions and the motivation to act, but your thoughts keep swiveling between past mistakes, present pressures, and future anxieties. Productivity slows down, and decisions take longer as you second-guess each option, fearing you'll overlook something crucial. You may begin to wonder why your mind is always on, restless and noisy, even during supposed downtime. Multitasking becomes the norm. You check your phone while eating, respond to emails while walking, and run scenarios in your head while trying to fall asleep. This bumpy inner landscape doesn't just sap your focus. It leaks into your relationships and overall sense of well-being, leaving you feeling less present, more reactive, and ultimately disconnected from your deeper purpose. What if you could reclaim that rare feeling of clarity every day, making mental space for the priorities that truly light you up? The transformative solution is to actively eliminate mental clutter, step by step, so your mind becomes not a chaotic attic, but a welcoming, orderly space in which you can think, create, and live purposefully. This approach doesn't require withdrawing from your life or silencing every thought. It is about learning which thoughts deserve your attention, which ones can be let go, and how to gently build rituals that calm your mind. You become the organizer of your own mental space, choosing what to keep, what to delegate, what to release, and what to revisit later with an open mind. By practicing this mental decluttering on purpose, you reduce overwhelm, uncover new insights, and allow the best parts of yourself, focus, intuition, creativity, and resilience, to rise to the surface. Adopting this mindset transforms small pockets of time throughout your day. Whether it's a few quiet breaths before a meeting, a moment to jot down stray worries before sleep, or intentionally taking breaks from information overload, you begin to create gaps in the noise. With less clutter and more space, you'll discover a newfound lightness in thinking and feeling, a daily invitation to focus on what really matters, make clearer choices, and step forward unburdened into changing circumstances with increased strength and clarity. To begin clearing your mental clutter, Set aside a few moments at the start or end of your day for intentional reflection. Take a clean sheet of paper or open a blank note and allow your thoughts to flow as freely as possible. Write down every worry, unfinished task, recurring idea, or nagging responsibility spinning in your mind. This is your opportunity to unload, not to solve everything at once. Often called a brain dump, this process brings instant relief as your thoughts move from your head onto the page, lightening your inner load. Once you finish, read through your list and gently organize items based on priority or urgency. Ask yourself, what truly needs my attention now? What can be scheduled for later? And what no longer feels important at all? With this clarity, cross out or let go of what doesn't serve you and tidy the remainder into manageable next steps. For ongoing mental clarity, practice short reset rituals throughout your day. For example, before starting a new task, pause for 2 deep breaths and consciously tell yourself you're leaving past tasks behind. If you're flustered between meetings, try closing your eyes and imagining each stray thought as a leaf floating down a stream, observing but not clinging. Consider the experience of Tom, a busy manager whose mind raced with overlapping responsibilities. By creating the daily habit of a 5-minute break to jot down his concerns and intentionally stretching afterward, he noticed his mood lifting and his focus sharpening after only 1 week. Another key step is to reduce incoming clutter by setting gentle boundaries on new information. Silence unnecessary notifications and schedule set times to check messages, news, or social platforms, rather than allowing constant interruptions. Maria, a university student, always felt overwhelmed by alerts. She limited her phone notifications and checked email only twice a day, freeing up vast stretches for focused studying. She found herself sleeping better and reconnecting with a sense of calm she thought was lost forever. As you practice these actions, the benefits will soon reveal themselves. You'll notice a mind freer of replays and what-ifs, clearer decision-making, and increased presence in your daily interactions. Little by little, stress falls away, and you begin to enjoy periods of effortless, peaceful focus, often accompanied by a richer sense of gratitude for life's simple moments. With less noise in your mind, you create space for creative solutions and emotional resilience, even on demanding days. To put these ideas into practice now, choose a time today or tomorrow to empty your thoughts with a brain dump. Then, pause before any new task for a deep breath or two. Try a single soft boundary, mute notifications, take a quiet walk without checking your phone, or pause to notice your surroundings with full attention. See how these small changes bring more calm and clarity, and celebrate each fresh start as proof progress is possible. This is not a one-time fix, but a gentle, ongoing practice. The more consistently you tend to your mental space, the more vibrant, creative, and purposeful your life will feel. As your mind clears and you revel in a lighter, more focused world, the next chapter will guide you in using honest reflection to fuel your lasting growth. Don't forget to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like this video, and share your favorite mental decluttering tip or breakthrough in the comments below. Each story strengthens our community, and the wisdom you share could be the spark that makes someone else's day lighter and more purposeful. Chapter 9. Reflect with honest awareness. How often do you pause, look back over your day, and truly see it for what it was? No filter, no excuses, just the candid truth. Imagine for a moment the power of looking at your life not as a relentless checklist or series of mishaps to gloss over, but as a rich story you get to shape and understand, one honest moment at a time. This quality of honest awareness sets the most successful and fulfilled people apart. Instead of coasting on autopilot or burying discomfort, they practice mindful reflection, embracing the lessons, joys, difficulties, and growth every day brings. But too many people fall into the quiet habit of ignoring their own experience, allowing patterns to repeat unchecked or growth opportunities to slip away unnoticed. In daily life, challenges and pain points often circle around unexamined routines. You might repeatedly feel frustrated by your lack of progress, or notice certain triggers always drag your mood down, but never slow down long enough to discover why. It's easy to judge yourself harshly for setbacks, push away disappointment, or distract yourself from hard truths with busy work and distractions. Sometimes you may trap yourself in old stories, believing you're not disciplined enough, that success is always out of reach, or that the changes you crave will come someday if you just keep pushing. Without pausing to reflect, old habits strengthen, and deep desires for personal change remain vague dreams. The discomfort of reflection often convinces us to avoid looking inward, making it easier to stay in familiar ruts, even when they drain our energy or limit our happiness. Yet, there is liberation and strength in choosing honest self-reflection. The transformative solution is to welcome reflection into your routine, not as self-criticism or review, but as an empowering, curious process of understanding yourself more deeply. When done with compassion and honesty, this kind of self-check is not a chore or punishment. Instead, it becomes one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Honest awareness reveals patterns, clarifies what's working and what's not, and illuminates both your victories and your growth areas, free from shame or denial. This approach encourages a gentle, objective curiosity about your life. What made you feel fulfilled today? What drained your energy? What fears or doubts arose? And how you responded in the moment. When you reflect regularly and honestly, the benefits reach into every corner of your life. You build emotional wisdom and resilience because you understand the truth of your journey, not just the highlight reel. Your choices improve as blind spots come into focus and lessons repeat less often. You also begin to celebrate achievements and resilience you might otherwise overlook, fueling further motivation. This realignment, nurtured one honest reflection at a time, turns life into a more intentional, gratifying process. Each time you pause with curiosity and kindness, your capacity for conscious change expands, giving you the insight and confidence to move toward the next version of yourself. To put honest reflection into action, start by claiming a gentle window of quiet time each day. Even just 5 or 10 minutes before bed works wonders. Sit with a notebook or open a voice note and ask simple, genuine questions. What moments today felt energizing or joyful? Where did I feel resistance, frustration, or regret? Was there a decision I avoided or a reaction I wish I could better understand? As you recall your day, do so with kindness, seeing both successes and struggles as seeds for greater clarity rather than reasons for criticism. Write down a few observations, but do not focus on grammar or making it perfect. The value is in facing your reality with compassion and curiosity. If you find obstacles or recurring frustrations, map them gently. For instance, imagine Ben, who often snapped at his family after stressful workdays. Through honest nightly reflection, Ben realized his irritability spiked most when he skipped his afternoon walk and let work stress pile up without a break. That insight inspired him to commit to a 5-minute cool-down before he entered the house. Bit by bit, his evenings became calmer and his family bonds grew stronger. Or consider Lena, who felt stuck in her creative goals. Her regular reflections helped her see she was most confident after connecting with supportive friends. She then started her day by sending a grateful message to someone in her circle, which helped her stay motivated throughout the week. To add more value to each reflection, now and then review your notes, maybe once a week. Search for recurring patterns, both positive and challenging. Notice how your mindset shifts over time, where you're gaining confidence, or where certain triggers keep returning. The beauty of consistent, honest awareness is that you begin to see how even stubborn roadblocks can be softened by attention. As patterns emerge, your path to improvement becomes less intimidating and more achievable, because change grows from understanding rather than judgment. With each sincere session of self-examination, you begin to relate to yourself as you would to a close friend, offering encouragement, celebrating small steps, and identifying opportunities for lighter, kinder self-correction. Life's noise and setbacks lose the power to steer the entire narrative, and you reclaim the ability to rewrite parts of your story as you grow. As you reflect more comfortably, your strategy for progress becomes grounded in truth and resilience, not just fleeting motivation. Let tonight be your chance to try this for yourself. Set a small alarm or reminder as your cue, and make time wherever it best fits your schedule. Ask yourself one question from above and write just a few lines of honest response. With each day you keep this practice going, You offer yourself more agency and clarity. Growth is open to you, one gentle self-check at a time. In the next chapter, we'll explore the power of consistency, showing how steady habits, built upon the foundation of honest awareness, accelerate and deepen your results over time. Be sure to subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like this video, and tell us how honest reflection has shaped your own journey in the comments below. Each step in awareness brings you closer to the life that truly belongs to you, and your insight may inspire someone else to begin their own transformation tonight. Chapter 10. Build consistency over time. Have you ever marveled at someone who, day after day, keeps showing up for their goals, growing stronger and more skilled with what seems like effortless rhythm? Perhaps you've watched a friend develop an impressive new skill, transform their health, or achieve a steady sense of peace that eludes most people. The real secret is never a hidden burst of talent or perfect conditions, but the uncanny power of simple, steady consistency. If success could be distilled into a single force, it is almost always the careful layering of small, deliberate efforts repeated over time, until those efforts reshape a person's habits, character, and results. Yet for so many, consistency is frustratingly difficult to hold on to. You may wake up inspired by a new habit or a big dream, only to notice your energy flag by midweek, resistance setting in when the work no longer feels novel or exciting. It's a familiar story to start strong. At the new year, at the beginning of a project, right after an inspiring talk, only to lose that spark when everyday life piles on unexpected distractions, setbacks, or boredom. Worse yet, when progress stalls, discouragement replaces motivation quickly, causing you to abandon the routine as another failed attempt. Even though you may know on some level that great things are built over months and years, it feels all too human to long for faster change or confirmation that what you're doing really matters. There is, however, a solution with gentle but profound power, a solution often overlooked in the constant search for shortcuts and instant results. The answer is to view consistency not as a rigid demand or test of willpower, but as a compassionate commitment to returning again and again to the practices that serve you and the life you desire. Instead of perfection, the goal becomes progress. Imperfect efforts, repeated honestly and patiently, compound over time and build incredible results. Embracing this philosophy gives you permission to start small, forgive setbacks, and celebrate each return to your chosen path as a true victory, not a reason for shame or discouragement. The core idea of building consistency is that meaningful change is less about dramatic effort and more about gentle, daily returns to essential actions. When you anchor your growth in routines supported by genuine self-acceptance, you create foundations strong enough to weather fatigue, setbacks, and temptation. With each repetition, whether you are building a new fitness habit, deepening a craft, or strengthening a mindset, you chip away at resistance and reinforce self-trust. This slow but certain progress becomes not just a source of pride, but a stable energy that breathes life into every area you touch. In time, you become the kind of person who honors promises made to yourself, carrying that quiet confidence into your work, your relationships, and every corner of your well-lived life. To operationalize consistency in your life, start by choosing just one area that matters deeply to you, whether it's physical health, a creative pursuit, or a personal goal. Instead of setting a grand, intimidating target, identify the smallest, repeatable action that nudges you in the right direction. For example, if you hope to improve your fitness, begin with a daily 10-minute walk rather than insisting on an hour-long gym routine right away. If you long to write a book, commit only to 1 paragraph or 5 minutes of writing every morning. The trick is to make the commitment so attainable that even on your busiest, lowest energy days, it feels possible to show up and keep your promise to yourself. Establish a simple cue that signals the start of your routine. Perhaps putting your shoes by the door before bed if walking is your habit, or setting out a notebook on your kitchen counter to remind you to write. Give yourself permission to build chains, days, weeks, even months, where each link is the tiny act of showing up, not a perfect or dramatic achievement. Consider the transformation of Julia, a full-time teacher and mother who struggled for years to maintain any exercise. When she shrank her goal to 15 minutes of movement after dinner, stretching, walking, or even a dance break, she discovered that consistency felt enjoyable rather than exhausting. Her strength improved, her confidence soared, and soon she was able to expand her routine naturally, celebrating every day she moved rather than beating herself up for those she missed. Track your progress in a visible way: calendars, journals, or even simple check marks, so you can witness your consistency over time. When life throws disruptions your way, remember that missing a day is not failure, but part of the process. What matters most is returning with compassion, not abandoning the habit in response to setbacks. Allow yourself to adapt routines as your circumstances change. The story of Alex, who nearly gave up his creative pursuits after a string of busy weeks, proves the point. Rather than quitting entirely, he learned to scale efforts up or down, sometimes spending an hour painting, other times only cleaning his brushes. What kept Alex growing was not intensity, but the gentle promise to never stop altogether. The rewards of consistency are felt in every part of your life. You'll notice stronger self-discipline, a greater sense of stability, and joy in your own persistence. Self-doubt and discouragement fade as your trust in your word grows. Perhaps most importantly, you unlock compounding improvement, the magical force that turns tiny, repeated actions into powerful results over time. Consistency protects you during hard times and multiplies your achievements during the good. Begin right now by selecting one minor but meaningful daily practice. Anchor it to an existing routine, track your streak, and treat each repeat as an act of self-loyalty. Progress will not always feel dramatic, but as your consistency builds, your results and your pride will quietly soar. Keep moving forward, knowing that progress favors those who patiently return. In the next chapter, we will explore how choosing growth in every moment empowers you to rise above your old limits and welcome new possibilities. For ongoing inspiration and tools for lasting consistency, subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, like this video, and add your stories or encouragements in the comments below. Every day you return to your goals is another step toward the extraordinary life you deserve, and your voice could spark hope for someone just beginning their journey. Chapter 11. Choose growth. Every moment. What if the true magic of transformation isn't triggered by some grand breakthrough, but rather by a simple choice made over and over, in every ordinary moment of your day? Consider how life might change if you believed deep down that each thought, each reaction, and each obstacle held within it the potential for your own growth. Too often, people imagine personal development as a distant mountain to summit someday, once conditions are finally right. They wait for clarity, wait for motivation, wait for a sign it's time to begin. But if real growth is always waiting somewhere ahead, it's easy to feel like you are constantly running to catch up, never quite truly arriving. This hope for one giant leap often leaves us stumbling when adversity or old habits appear. You plan to make a major shift, only to catch yourself falling back into doubt, self-criticism, or impatience when results don't come fast enough. There are days when you feel inspired and full of purpose, but a simple setback or an offhand comment can erase your confidence. Perhaps you know you want to become more resilient or compassionate or brave, but day-to-day challenges, traffic, misunderstandings, difficult tasks, your own inner harshness keep drawing you away from your highest intentions. It is deeply frustrating to recognize the person you want to be, yet feel unable to act like that person in the heat of everyday life. Without a strategy for growth that is embedded in the now, change often feels temporary or out of reach. But what if the key is not waiting for the right day or mood, but deciding that the opportunity for growth is woven into the fabric of every experience, especially your most ordinary or difficult ones? The transformative solution is to reframe your everyday perspective and resolve to choose growth as an ongoing mindset and intention, not a once-in-a-while event. This means making daily life, with all its joys and challenges, your training ground. Each minor frustration is suddenly a chance to practice patience. Each small mistake is feedback for understanding, not a label of failure. Committing to growth in the present, moment by moment, teaches you that these countless little choices slowly become the muscles of lasting change. The core idea behind this approach is beautifully simple. Greatness is built by practicing micro moments of courage, humility, learning, and resilience throughout your day. Every time you pause and ask, how can I grow right now? In a traffic jam, during an argument, faced with a boring task, even in a fleeting disappointment, you begin retraining your attention from self-doubt and discouragement to curiosity and possibility. These frequent, small acts nurture the deeper roots of your wisdom and self-respect, carving growth into your daily thoughts and behaviors. Over time, you will notice that setbacks lose their power as you naturally search for lessons instead of reasons to give up. With each moment you choose growth, the distance between who you are and who you hope to be shrinks, until you realize, with gratitude, that you are already living your growth story, one mindful step at a time. To weave growth into your daily reality, begin by bringing awareness to the moments when you habitually react or shut down. The next time you feel frustration during a conversation, encounter a challenge at work, or notice self-criticism bubbling up, pause for a single breath. In that pause, gently ask yourself, what opportunity for growth might this moment hold? There's no need for sweeping answers or dramatic turnarounds. Sometimes growth means simply staying calm for a few seconds longer, listening more deeply, or admitting what you don't yet know. Commit to reframing struggles as invitations to practice patience, empathy, or resilience. You might even find it helpful to jot a reminder somewhere visible, a sticky note on your desk or a message in your phone that reads, "Choose growth now." Consider the story of Omar, who often clashed with colleagues during stressful projects. Instead of viewing these interactions only as sources of stress, Omar decided to turn every disagreement into a lesson in respectful communication. By focusing on listening rather than defending his perspective, he grew confident in conflict resolution and saw professional relationships improve dramatically. Or think of Ava, a stay-at-home parent who would feel discouraged by daily setbacks and messes. She reframed each spill or tantrum, quietly repeating to herself, "This is a chance for me to model patience." Slowly, her days became less about striving for control and more about nurturing steady compassion, both for herself and her children. You can nurture this shift by taking a few moments each evening for gentle reflection. Ask yourself, how did I choose growth today? Where did I miss the chance to grow? And what will I try differently next time? By regularly honoring your efforts, you'll start seeing a new story, one where each day brings new chances to practice becoming your best self, with every mistake simply a teacher in disguise. Foster this growth-centered mindset by developing a personal mantra or affirmation, such as, "Every moment is a lesson," or "I am always becoming." Speak or write it, especially during times of doubt or discouragement, as a way to spark encouragement and gentle accountability. The benefits of this simple yet profound practice are transformative. You'll notice a brighter, calmer spirit in the face of daily obstacles. Resilience grows as you spot possibilities in places that once felt like dead ends. Criticism from others or setbacks in circumstances lose their ability to shut down your purpose or progress. Instead, you feel equipped with mental and emotional tools to keep expanding, no matter what happens. Relationships often deepen because approaching others through the lens of growth naturally brings more open, caring energy into your connections. Tonight or tomorrow, choose just one challenging or routine situation and view it through this lens. How can this make me better, stronger, or kinder? Celebrate even the smallest shift, knowing you are practicing the one power you control every day, the power to grow right now. Trust that with practice, choosing growth becomes a reflex, fueling progress in ways you may not even anticipate. Your journey doesn't end here. In the final chapter, you will discover how to embody all these lessons, step fully into the present, and live each day with intention, meaning, and vitality. For continued inspiration from our community, subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, give this video a like, and share in the comments one area where you're choosing growth right now. Every insight encourages another traveler on this path, showing that together we can keep reaching for our best selves. Chapter 12. Live fully every day. What if you woke each morning with the conviction that this day, no matter how ordinary, holds opportunities for joy, connection, purpose, and meaning? Imagine a life where even routine moments are saturated with vitality, where you don't simply exist or drift but show up, present and engaged in ways that matter to you. Most people sense this is possible, but daily life often pulls them into survival mode. Stress, habit, uncertainty, or sheer momentum can lock you into mindless routines. You may fall into a pattern where days blend together, where tasks are checked off but little is truly felt, and weeks slip by unremembered. This slow drift robs life of its natural wonder, leaving you not so much dissatisfied as vaguely numb, present in body but not in spirit. What's even more challenging is that most people rarely pause to question whether they are truly living, rather than merely keeping pace. The worries of tomorrow, regrets from yesterday, and the relentless tempo of obligations can crowd out time for delight or reflection. Perhaps you found yourself rushing from one commitment to another, promising you will enjoy yourself later when, ironically, now becomes another missed chance. Even happy routines can lose their richness if you breeze through them on autopilot. You may notice that the things you longed for are no longer vivid, replaced by the kind of muted comfort that leaves you restless, wishing for more but unsure how to claim it. Yet a transformative solution waits in the wholehearted act of living fully, beginning with the radical choice to greet each moment as unique and meaningful, regardless of circumstances. Living fully does not demand a complete reinvention or dramatic lifestyle overhaul. Instead, it invites you to infuse daily life with intention and attention, to lovingly reclaim moments from the grip of distraction or worry and lean into them with your senses, your heart, and your values. This practice means honoring both small pleasures and big challenges with equal presence, treating every day as worthy of your best energy, even when it seems unremarkable. It's about waking up to possibility, learning to say yes to what lights you up, and giving your presence as a gift to yourself, your loved ones, and your greater community. The heart of this approach is recognizing that meaning is woven not from rare events, but from the attention you give to your ordinary world. Living fully every day means seeing beauty in small details, expressing gratitude out loud, taking time for connection, and noticing how the breeze, a smile, or a moment of calm can steady or inspire you. As you step into each day with mindfulness and intention, routines become rituals that nourish, and obstacles become invitations to wake up, to life, and to yourself. Over time, this perspective creates a lasting sense of vividness and fulfillment, a daily adventure where each simple act, noticed and savored, shapes a life that is truly your own. To begin living fully every day, start by consciously building moments of presence and gratitude into your routine. Upon waking, take a few slow breaths and scan for something, anything to appreciate, even the comfort of your sheets. As you move through daily activities, pause for a beat and notice what your senses are offering. The warmth of sunlight, the taste of your coffee, the laughter or stories of people close to you. It helps to choose one anchor moment each day, perhaps during a regular walk or while washing your hands, where you check in with yourself. How can I invite more purpose or attention into this very moment? Treat this like a friendly experiment rather than a discipline, playfully seeking opportunities to truly show up that day. Real transformation follows these small, intentional acts. Take Maria, for example, a busy professional who found most weekdays rushed and mechanical. She decided to spend just 2 minutes each morning writing down one thing she was thankful for and one intention for the day, such as listen attentively or find a moment for laughter. The change was subtle at first, a new softness in conversation, a bit more color in her view of the world. Over several weeks, ordinary meetings and commutes were sprinkled with little sparks of joy and meaning. She found herself more fulfilled, less stressed, and more able to savor her achievements. Or consider Mark, who, fatigued by the routine of family life, made a daily habit of stepping outside each evening to simply observe the sky. This presence created a sense of calm insight he carried back inside, deepening his connection to family and daily responsibilities alike. Embrace simple rituals that help wake you up to joy. This could be greeting someone with genuine warmth, deliberately taking a slower pace during a favorite activity, or reflecting before bed on one highlight and one lesson from the day. When challenges appear, rather than waiting for them to pass, view them as reminders to recommit to presence. Remember, living fully is not about maximizing pleasure or erasing discomfort, but about being completely present within both, the laughter and the tears, the failures and the breakthroughs. For your practical invitation, designate tomorrow as a living fully experiment. Commit to noticing and appreciating at least 5 moments, no matter how ordinary. Savor a meal without distractions, or call a friend just to really listen. At the end of the day, journal or reflect on what happened differently. Step by step, these mindful actions accumulate, endowing each day with a richness that routine can never rob from you. Every moment offers new entry to a life that is vibrant and uniquely yours if you dare to inhabit it fully. Thank you for joining this journey through Act Intentionally, Live Fully, a daily blueprint for success. Together, we explored powerful lessons: waking up with purpose, defining core values, designing your ideal day, setting intentional goals, and so much more. Now you hold a powerful toolkit for intentional living. One decision, one habit, one present moment at a time. Your commitment to this journey proves that real change is possible, no matter where you're starting. Thank you for giving your time and energy to your own growth and for being part of our flourishing community. If you found value in these chapters, please take a moment to like, comment with your insights and victories, and subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel for more inspiration on your journey toward a truly meaningful life.